Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face. Chris Rucker here with E.J. Reed, powered by FullPressCoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they will have something to say about the NFL. College football championship week is this weekend. UGA taking on Alabama, Texas versus Oklahoma State. Ohio State gets smashed by Michigan.
Man, what did they do?
Yeah, this weekend will be the prelude to the college football playoff. The last college football playoff of only 4 teams is this week.
I hate it.
And I know you're a South Carolina guy, right? You're a Gamecock. But if you could take the cock off the brain.
I haven't heard that one before.
If you could take the cock off the brain, if UGA loses this weekend, do you think they should still be in the college football playoff?
Will they be? Yes. Do I think they should be? Probably not. Under this system, it's whatever you've done for me lately. If they lose, they have the same record as Alabama.
Right.
And if the other 3 teams win, you got to put the team head to
so
head.
So if Texas wins, Alabama wins, Washington will be undefeated if they won, right?
And Michigan and Florida State.
Florida State would have a loss. They've lost.
No, they haven't.
They haven't? I thought Florida State's lost.
Who they lose to? They're undefeated.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Let me pull this up right now. You can find this at fullpresscoverage.com. I'm sure they have all the – that's where I'm going right now for this.
Because
college football.
Because their strength of schedule, they've been like the voters been looking for a reason not to put them in the top 4. But they just
FSU is now in the top 4 along with UGA, Michigan, and Washington. Let's go find the record standings. Here we go.
Yeah, if they weren't undefeated, they wouldn't be in the top 4.
I wonder why everybody's hating on FSU.
Strength of schedule. Haven't really played anybody. I think the first game they played LSU, maybe, or was that last year? They always play like a pretty good team at the beginning of the season. And they play that ACC schedule. I mean, you can't fault them, but I mean, you got to compare it to the teams that the other teams been playing. SEC, Big Ten.
You're right. FSU's 12-0. All right, so Michigan doesn't have a championship game, right? Big Ten. Who are they playing?
They play the Big Ten West, which is abysmal at this time.
Yeah,
I think
so they're going to
Iowa or somebody like that.
Washington will probably win. FSU's got to play
like a North Carolina or a North Carolina State, one of those teams.
All right, so you got 3 undefeated teams. Then you'd have UGA, OSU, Oregon, Texas, Alabama, all at 11-1, 12-1. I'm sorry. I think UGA should get in if they lose. I think they should be regardless.
I don't think so. You got the same record as the person that beats you. I think you got to jump Alabama in number 4.
Well, then Alabama doesn't get in because Texas beat Alabama.
I mean, the math doesn't work out like that.
That's literally what you just said, though.
The head-to-head, though.
Right. Texas beat Alabama. So if Texas finishes at 12-1, Big 12 champion, Alabama finishes at 12-1 as SEC champion, but then Texas get in because Texas beat Alabama.
But then you take the strength of schedule into consideration. we'll put Alabama's wins head to head with Texas's wins.
Texas beat Alabama, who's ranked number 4 in the
And
conference.
then who else did they beat? And then Alabama just beat the number 1 team.
But who else does Alabama beat besides Georgia?
SEC West. You pick a team. It's probably like one of
They all
strong
suck.
teams.
They're not even in the top 25. Tennessee's the only other team in the top 25 in the SEC.
Well, then we could play this round robin. And who was Georgia beat?
I'm sorry, Missouri. Missouri's number 9. Georgia beat the brakes off of Missouri.
But then you got to give Alabama the Georgia win. So then we're all just canceling in each other out.
That's why Georgia should still get in.
But then who's their biggest win beside Missouri if Alabama wins?
Missouri and domination over everybody else in the SEC
No,
besides
see,
Alabama.
It's gonna be interesting. I still think Georgia gets in there, but based off strength of schedule, and Texas is a strong loss for Alabama, but then Alabama will be a strong loss for Georgia. It's a sticky situation.
Then you got Oregon in there at 12-1.
Yeah.
Ohio State would be in there after getting beat by Michigan.
But they played a less game. They didn't play a championship game.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just remember all those years of like Alabama not even playing in the SEC championship and getting to the playoffs and winning the whole fucking thing.
That happened one year. That was 2012, and that was 2011. That was bullshit.
No, it was more recent than that. The year that they beat Georgia in the championship, they won
that's true.
SEC champions.
Because Georgia beat like LSU in the championship, the SEC championship, and Alabama.
Yeah, because LSU won against Alabama by running that kickback, and then Georgia spanked LSU, and then Georgia beat Oklahoma, and then lost to Alabama.
It's that year, and they did a year before that when it was still the BCS. I think both of them were.
Alabama's been in there at least 2 times without even winning the SEC.
All right, I think Georgia only slips to 4 if they lose.
I feel like Georgia, I know the previous 2 years don't count, but they've went undefeated before championship rounds, and they haven't lost in 2 years, and 2-time defending champion. I don't know. I think it'd be a fucking travesty of justice if they didn't get to the.
I think if Georgia keeps that number 1 spot, I think it's basically like a bye in that first round. I don't trust FSU not having their quarterback.
Yeah, so I will be watching that game from Las Vegas. Yeah.
This year, like your 3rd time this year going?
2nd, EJ.
I wasn't even trying to be funny. I could have swore you've been like 3 times this year.
No, this will be my 4th time in like 2 years that I've been to Vegas. It's my home away from home, bro.
Man, you catching up with me.
I love it out there. I just wish it wasn't such a long fucking plane ride.
Oh, I guess Atlanta is a little bit further.
It's 4.5 hours, man. That's a long time to be up in the air.
That plane ride is that long? I thought it would be like a 3.5 hour plane ride.
It's 4.5 hours going, 350 coming back.
Interesting.
And the time change is like a motherfucker. Like, you don't think that it is. So, like, I'm working Friday. I get on my plane at 7:30 Georgia time, and I fly backwards 3 hours in a 4.5 hour flight. So basically, I'm landing midnight my time, 9 p.m. Vegas time. So it's like prime time to go out. So I think I'm gonna pop a melatonin on my way to the airport, see if I can take a nap on the plane.
No, I love that time change, especially when I was living on the East Coast, that 3 hour difference.
If I didn't have to work Friday, I'd feel you, but I got to be up at 5 a.m. Friday, my time. So by the time I land there, it'll be midnight here. You go hang out for 3 or 4 hours. It's almost 24 hours straight. I'm up now. I'm too old for that shit, dog.
Man, when do you go back?
I come back Monday.
You come back Monday. So you up all night. It'll be like 9 something there. You get unpacked. It'll probably take you like an hour to settle in, maybe a little longer at the hotel.
It won't even do that. I'm staying at my buddy's house the first night because the hotels are so high. So he's picking us up at the airport and we're going straight out. My friend Nate, it's his 40th birthday party. That's why we're going out there. And then there's some Covino and rich people that are going to be there also. So it's just going to be fucking nonstop for 3 days. Like, check into my hotel on Saturday. My buddy wants to watch. He's a big. He went to UGA. He wants to watch the game at home, which I completely understand. I don't like watching Dallas Cowboys playoff games with people. I like to watch them at my house by myself. So he
Yeah.
wants to do that. So he's like, I can take y'all to your hotel, but I got to be home by 1. So we're gonna head to the hotel about 12 and see if we can get an early check in. If we can't, we'll leave our shit with them. Probably just go gamble and shit, meet up with people. And then Saturday, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go to the Las Vegas Golden Knights hockey game Saturday night.
Oh man,
That
hockey
is
in
my
person is always a good time.
and that is my team, EJ. We are
Yeah,
defending champions, Stanley Cup champs.
your newly adopted team.
Yeah. So I'll have to check them out. It'll be a good time. It'll be a really good time.
If
I don't know what else we're doing, but
if you're not able to sleep on the plane, I mean, planes aren't the most comfortable areas to be sleeping. I mean, you'll eventually catch up with sleep. I mean, you don't got really anything to do on Saturday. You got the game to watch, but it's not till what 1.
yeah.
So, yeah, you'll be fine with sleep. Sleep
I
when you're
don't
dead.
I don't sleep well.
Yeah. So how you gonna fall asleep on the plane?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm taking melatonin. Um, when I went to Mexico, the first day we were there, we went to sleep. I was up at 5:30. That's just how my body's wired now because I get up so early for work that on the weekends I have to make myself go back to sleep. Like I'll wake up about 6 o'clock. And I'll be like, fuck this. Like I have to, or I get up and I'm like doing shit. And by 10 o'clock, I've got the whole fucking house cleaned and I've made breakfast and coffee and all kind of other shit. Then I'm tired for the rest of the day because I've gotten up and done fucking 3 hours worth of work before everybody else even wakes up.
Well, that's pretty productive of you, though.
Yeah.
Get up, get what you need to get done.
I
I can't sleep past 7:30 even on the weekend for some reason. I don't
Right.
know. It's weird.
It's hard. It's like when you get older, you just can't fucking sleep in anymore.
I don't know. I think I always expect like a crash to happen sometime on the weekend if that happens, but most of the time it doesn't. Once in a while, I'll take like a nap during like the middle of the football day, or if it's a Saturday, or maybe even a Sunday if it's a game I don't really care about on.
I will say, I do find it easier to sleep during the daytime for naps in hotels. For some reason, hotel naps just fucking slap.
You know why?
Because you're in there fucking and you're drunk.
You took it to that level, huh?
Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was keeping it PG.
That what you were gonna say?
I was gonna say because they have those like blackout curtains and stuff where
Oh yeah,
you
that
don't even
too.
know what time of day it is, but you took it to
That's what I meant.
a more perverse level.
I meant to say fucking sleep because it's blackout curtains. That's what I meant. My bad.
Oh, it didn't come out that way, but let's go with that.
Let's get to some wrestling.
It's not really anything going on in the world of wrestling right now.
Not at all. That's why we're fucking talking about football and blackout curtains.
I'm sure we'll figure something to talk about.
This weekend was WWE Survivor Series, EJ. One of their big 4 premium live events, pay-per-views, as you would call it. The only premium live event that's a big 4 that I haven't been to. I actually had a chance too. I don't know if I've told you this or not. When Roman Reigns won his first world title and Sheamus cashed in on him, that was in Atlanta. And I didn't go because there was a terrorist threat that weekend. I don't know if the rest of the country knew about it, but it was like big news around here. And I think WWE even put out a statement about it. Like I'd have to go back and look it up. But there was a terrorist threat, and my wife at the time was like, I don't think you should go. I was like, they'll be fine. It's a fucking sporting event. Like nothing's gonna happen. And then I was thinking, like, if something did happen, like I'd feel so bad because And then like I got to thinking with pyro and shit like that. Like every time something would go off, you'd probably like, what the fuck was that? So I missed out on Survivor Series here in Atlanta at the Phillips Arena. So that sucked. That's the only.
Sorry though.
Yeah. And it turns out Roman won his first world title, so I could have been there for that. But then I would have saw Sheamus cash in on it fucking 5 minutes and 17 seconds later, which was a really good storyline back then.
What was it? That's when I first started dipping my toes to watch it a little bit because I was with my friend and we took like the girl he's seeing, like her little son to they were in North Charleston. So I wasn't really paying attention at the time outside of being invited to a WrestleMania party earlier that year. And then it was Sheamus and the League of Nations.
Yeah. Del Rio, Rusev, Wade Barrett.
That was okay.
So I'm gonna tell you how good this storyline was. Earlier in the year at the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia, Roman won. The Rock came out to help him. They not only booed Roman, they booed The Rock because nobody wanted Roman to win. He went to WrestleMania. He gets booed out of WrestleMania. Now, mind you, the Royal Rumble was in Philadelphia. In the same building later that year, Roman wins the world title on Raw, and the crowd goes absolutely fucking ape shit because of the storyline that they had. People don't like to remember that for whatever reason, but Roman had he was trying to win the title from Sheamus at TLC, and everybody interfered. And after the match, he ended up just fucking losing his shit. He beat the fuck out of Sheamus, Del Rio, Wade Barrett. Then he beat the fuck out of Triple H. And that's what made Vince come out, and he fucking Superman punched Vince on Raw. And Vince is like, well, if you don't win the title, you're fired. And everything was against him, and he won the belt. And that same fucking building in Philadelphia, the fucking roof blew off of it when he won. That's how good the storyline was. You don't believe me? You're more than welcome to go back and fucking watch him beat Sheamus for the title on Monday Night Raw and listen.
So this was after they pulled the rug from underneath them and had Sheamus cash in on them.
Yeah, Sheamus cashed in at Survivor Series. This happened in I think this was the second to last Raw of the year. It was like late December before the Christmas break.
Because when I went, I think it was December when I went to that show. I think Sheamus had the belt at that time, so yeah. I think it's probably right before Roman beat him. Man.
And then Roman had to enter number 1 at the Rumble, and Triple H won the title. And then they fought at WrestleMania that year.
What a interesting story to have him defended in the Royal Rumble.
And then make him number 1. And then he got eliminated 15, 16 people in. So he didn't even make it to the end. He got eliminated pretty early.
I don't know if I went back and watched that Royal Rumble. I bet they were making a big deal about the guaranteed to be a new champion.
Yeah, once he got eliminated, they did. Anyway.
There's no reason in the year 2016 Triple H should have been winning that championship.
The whole point was to try to get Roman over even more, but Roman was already over by beating Sheamus. They should have left it alone. And by the time Triple H got involved, the crowd went back to booing Roman because Triple H had fucked the storyline up. That cocksucker.
Should have left well enough alone.
Anyhow, Survivor Series is this weekend. We had 5 matches on the docket. Do you remember who picked what?
I didn't write those down.
I'm pretty sure I picked all the winners.
I remember.
I take that back. I picked one heel team and one face team.
Yeah, I remember that. I picked the opposite of you. You picked Damage Control to win, and I picked them to lose because I thought that that'd be the catalyst for Bailey getting kicked out.
Yeah.
But you picked the men's winner, right? Because I picked the opposite. I picked Judgment Day.
I'm pretty sure we both picked Rhea.
Yeah. Yeah. Santos and Gunther.
I'm pretty sure I picked Santos and Gunther. And those are the only 3 other matches, right?
Yeah. So we both went 4-1.
Yeah. But what we didn't pick, I don't know if we predicted it or not. Your boy, Chick Magnet Punk, came back at the end of the show. But before he came back, there was another return. And I want to talk about this. Randy Orton was teased to be the 5th member of Team Cody Rhodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell you, WWE basically did the biggest fuck you to the internet Mark fans that thought, oh, we're just gonna take over if it's not CM Punk that comes out. WWE basically took their dick and put it on the table. They said we're gonna run an angle to where Orton's not here, and people are gonna want to know who the number 5 member is. Not only are they gonna chant CM Punk, they're going to boo the fuck out of whoever it is that's not CM Punk. And you know what WWE did? They ran that angle. They purposely made people think Punk was going to come out. And then they sent Randy Orton out there, and nobody gave a fuck. Not in a bad way. Not nobody gave a fuck. They didn't give a fuck about Orton. Nobody gave a fuck that it wasn't CM Punk.
And what are your thoughts on that?
I think that just shows you how good WWE is right now. Because 10 years ago, back when we were talking about Roman and all the shit he was going through, if that would have happened then, that crowd would have got hijacked. Do you remember Rey Mysterio coming back as number 30? And they thought they wanted Daniel Bryan to be the one to come back? They booed the shit out of Rey Mysterio, EJ, a goddamn national treasure.
I heard about that, but I never went back and watched that.
They wanted Daniel Bryan to come out, and it was Rey Mysterio. It was Rey Mysterio returning to the WWE. He wasn't a wrestler there. He had wrestled in All In like 3 months before that. And Rey Mysterio was returning. They booed the shit out of him. And WWE this weekend said, we're going to make y'all think it's Punk. And then we're not even going to send that motherfucker out there. We're going to send Randy Orton out there, and you're going to fucking love it. And
so you think they got the response that they wanted to? Randy
fuck
Orton
yeah.
came?
Fuck yeah, they did. Also, Orton, whew, that motherfucker looks in incredible shape. That's that fucking 2004 Randy Orton.
Yeah, calm down over there, Rucker.
What?
You get you a fan?
Motherfucker's in good shape. What do you want me to say?
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, man. He had a year and a half to work out. I hope that he would look like that, but yeah,
No,
hats
but
off to him.
what I mean for the most part though is like, so in 04 ish, Orton got fucking jacked.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody thought he was on the juice. Then he got like during the I don't know if you were watching when he was in Legacy with Cody and Ted DiBiase. He was going around kicking everybody in the face, saying he had that IED shit, like he was crazy. He got so fucking skinny, like it was weird looking. And then he kind of went his last couple of years, he's been like in between. He's been in between the real skinny Orton and the fucking jacked Orton. This motherfucker that came back, I feel like he's been in the gym every day since he left.
Yeah, that or at the doctor's office.
Even your boy Bully Ray was on Busted Open, said even his ass got muscles in it.
Pause. Bully Ray, come on. Come on, Bully Ray.
But him and Mark Henry were talking. They said it's hard to gain muscle in your legs the way Orton did.
Yeah,
and
it is.
his legs and shit look bigger. Like that dude's been in the lab.
Especially calves. It's hard to get your calves bigger. But yeah, man, shout out to Randy Orton. He looked in tremendous shape. But back to your point, I mean, I think they got a little bit too cute with it. Like, why do that? Why do that? Like,
yeah,
all right, we're gonna make you think that because you know you're gonna cheer anyway. I don't like that because they know they were gonna get the CM Punk chance, and they did. They were sprinkled. They didn't last long, but they were sprinkled. You could have ran an angle back there, but not do it like that. Why not have Orton back there? Everybody in the locker room, Orton walk in and he's just silent, just doesn't say anything, so they don't know what he's gonna do or not. Something like that. Because
I agree.
I wish the Punk would have been a complete surprise.
It was though.
It was, but then you kind of had it in the back of people's minds with the chants being scattered, and they teased it a little bit, like you said, by not showing that Randy would show up.
But see, that's the thing. I don't think they teased Punk. I think that was like a meta. I hate that fucking word. I can't believe I just said that. I think that was like a shot to the internet smart fans that we're gonna make y'all think it's Punk. But like, if you're just a kid watching, you don't know. You're like, where the fuck is Randy Orton at?
But we're not kids, and yeah,
But it's not just about us though, EJ.
They do have a big kid fan base, but I mean, I get your point, but It's like F the IWC. Like, I don't know.
That's what I think that was. I think that was a fuck the IWC.
I mean,
like,
well, F like giving them any attention. That's what I meant.
I think that was a fuck you to them. Like, we know y'all want Punk, right? We know y'all are gonna try to take over this motherfucker. We're about to show you that as a company, we are so fucking over right now that we can tease what y'all want, and then we give you what we think you want, and you still gonna fucking like it.
And then they ended up giving you what you want.
As a surprise.
Yeah.
I liked it. I did. I loved I if you just started listening to Boot to the Face last week and you've never heard another episode before, you know I can't stand CM Punk. CM Punk, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, Ric Flair, Charlotte Flair, all for different reasons. These are probably my top 5 worst fucking wrestlers that I would see on TV. CM Punk's number 1. Can't stand him.
I can't put him over Terry.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. But CM Punk is up there. Like, I haven't liked the guy for years. Made it known, right? I still think it was cool the way they did it. His last 2 returns in AEW and in WWE, I don't like the guy at all. And I've probably watched both of them at least 20 times. Just to like see and feel that crowd reaction. I don't get why people like him. I don't get why people give a fuck. But it's cool to just see people fucking freak out like that. Now, it was in Chicago both times. A little bit of a home field advantage. But I love the way they did it. I love that they looked like they were going off the air. And then it just hit out of nowhere.
Little trick that Triple H has pulled out of his hat before when he was running NXT.
That's one of the old WCW Monday Nitro tricks. We're out of time. And then Sting drops down from the ceiling.
Did they do that?
They did that a lot. Tune in to Saturday night. We'll show you what happened. And then you got to watch Saturday night to see the shit that went off after.
Yeah, they did do that a lot. I thought you meant with the actual scroll
Like
at the end of the show to make you
They would do that too. They would do that too. They would run that every now and then some more shit would happen. I want to think when Sting first turned on the NWO at Uncensored, that they may have ran the lower third. I don't want to say I know that for a fact, but they made it look like they were going off the air. And then he jumped down from the ceiling and beat the shit out of the whole NWO.
I just remember a lot. There'd be action going on in the ring, and then they would just go off air while it was still happening. I remember that happened.
They'd run that fucking lower third. You might see 2 or 3 more right hands from somebody, and you hear Tony Schiavone, we're out of time.
But yeah. Triple H stole that, I guess. But yeah, man. Like in the year of 2023, I think that's probably like one of the best kept surprises that you're gonna get at that level. Like you had people talking about it, like whispering about it on the internet, but nobody knew. And I think that's the best you're gonna get in the year of 2023.
We're anti-spoiler here at Boot to the Face. I hate spoilers. I block people that post them on X. I hate I'm a big fan of Sean Ross Sapp. I hate that. I love that he puts his spoilers behind a paywall, but I hate that he posts them because then somebody just tweets it out. And then somebody else retweets it, so you still see it, right? But he's at least trying to keep the integrity. Like, I'm not just going to rape your eyes with this spoiler. You got to pay for it. But then people pay for it, and then they try to report it. But I hate spoilers. The fact that nobody knew, no matter what dirt sheet you saw, they were like, everything we're hearing, Punk's not going to be there. As of 30 minutes ago, Punk's not there, blah, 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 right? I loved it. And then when he came out and nobody fucking knew, like you said, it's 2023. It's hard to keep a secret. The fact that you can, that's what wrestling is.
Exactly. You know who was moonwalking like Michael Jackson?
Your boy Meltzer?
Ding.
I
Going
mean,
back and forth with it with fans. Like they called him out. Well, you see, I said that it could or could have not happened. Like, get the fuck out of here,
that's
man.
that cocksucker always says. He's like, he'll say something. For example, he'll be like, Becky Lynch is gonna face Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, but plans could change. As of right now, that's what they're gonna do, but it might change before then. But as of right now, that's what they're gonna do. But if it does change, just remember I told you it could change. You ain't telling me shit. That's nothing. You're just making shit up. And then when it doesn't happen, you say, well, I told you plans would change. Shut the fuck up.
I can do the same thing. It might rain today, but plans could change and it could be
Right.
sunshine all day.
EJ, it's a chance of rain. Where, Rucker? Hell, everywhere. Shit. It's a chance of rain everywhere.
Yeah, that's lame. Like, I respect you more if you just stood on what you reported first. Like, hey, I got this one wrong. It
I
happens
respect him
sometimes.
more if he just shut the fuck up. Like, you don't have to
That's not gonna happen.
spoil everything because for some reason people want spoilers, and that I don't get.
Yeah, it's
Like,
lame.
we talked about it a couple weeks ago when Matt Hardy got fired because Edge was fucking Lita, and they wanted to get rid of Matt Hardy, and then they rehired him back and didn't tell anybody, and he just attacked Edge on Raw. Like, I know wrestling's not real. I know this shit's scripted. But for a second, I was like, oh shit. Matt Hardy just fucking Matt Hardy just pulled up on Edge on Monday Night Raw. And then you're like, hold on a second. Why would they why would they do that? That's the feeling you want to get. I'm 41 years old, man. Make me believe.
Yeah, I completely agree with all those sentiments. I feel like it's gotten even worse in the age of the iPhone because there were sites when
Don't blame the iPhone.
yeah,
Smartphone.
iPhone, Android, smartphone,
Smartphone.
all phones. You know what I meant. In the age of having the internet on your phone, because we had sites back when early 2000s, but it didn't spread like wildfire when you could just look at it on your phone. So yeah, I just hate spoilers. It's lame. Like, why do you want to know? I mean, it's a question. It's almost like a rhetorical question because we can't really answer it. But
And then nobody will answer it. Like, not only I don't give a fuck why you want to know. But why do you want to tell me when I don't want to know?
yeah, because
Like,
people are miserable.
if you find out, why do you have to then tell everybody else? Nobody asked you that. You went and seeked out what's gonna happen. When I watch The Walking Dead, I don't want to know Rick's gonna die. I want to come on here, and when we talk about The Walking Dead, I want to say, you know who I wish would die? That motherfucker Rick. I can't stand this motherfucker. The main character of The Walking Dead. And when he did, quote unquote, die, because I haven't watched the rest of it, I was like, oh, did they just kill Rick?
Yeah, so much for going back and watching that.
Spoiler.
Um, what was I gonna say about that? Yeah, you got like you have some people out there, wrestlers or entertainers that spoil the plots from movies too. That's lame as well.
Champa.
Yeah, like
That was, that did suck. Luckily, I had seen the movie before he did it, but him spoiling the Avengers I thought was like super funny.
yeah, that's funny, but spoiling wrestling storylines isn't funny, huh?
No, I only thought it was funny because I had already seen the movie. If I hadn't seen the movie, I'd have been like, "What a cocksucker, this guy."
Yeah, it's just like just people just love seeing other people miserable, and that's something that's personally going on within yourself where you got to spoil it for other people.
Yeah.
But I'm not a therapist, so let's move on.
So overall, how'd you like Survivor Series, top to bottom?
Uh, I love the War Games matches,
Hmm.
and the other matches were filler, so I liked it.
I thought it was a really good show. top to bottom. I was entertained all the way through. There was the Rhea versus Zoe match I didn't too much care for, but Rhea's outfit kept me intrigued a little bit. Which is weird because I'm not even there with Rhea, but whatever. But CM Punk, let's get to this. On a scale of 1 to 10, if I would have told you a year ago, or when when All In happened, the second time he got suspended, if I would have said he'll be in WWE by Survivor Series, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you have given it then?
So after Brawl In this year,
Yeah, after Wembley, the last show he did for AEW.
I would have gave it a 5.5 maybe. It's because when it happened, everybody was like, hey, WWE's probably gonna pick this guy up at Survivor Series, but then you had the little stuff that came out in between then where we're like, oh, is it gonna happen? And then people really stopped talking about it like that. So I give it like a 5.5.
I would have gave it a 10. And I
Yeah.
would have to go dig through the archives. But I'm pretty sure when Punk came back for AEW, I told Marty he'll go back to WWE. When he came back to pro wrestling, I already knew it was a matter of time before he went back to WWE.
Yeah.
So I would have gave it a 10. Last night on Monday Night Raw, he cut his first promo in WWE. What'd you think?
I mean, on the mic, that's probably the best I've heard him speak within this whole comeback. Like,
Really?
it's probably better than 90% of all of his AEW promos.
Really?
Yeah, but he didn't really say anything. I'm just saying his delivery and his like, he said it with his chest and his delivery, but he didn't really say anything, so that takes it down a notch.
I feel like his promo on the first night of Collision was really good.
Yeah, see, I said 90%. That falls in that 10% that were actually.
But I agree with you. Like, he didn't say shit. And honestly, for me being a guy that doesn't like CM Punk, I was looking forward to this promo. I was looking forward to hearing him, tell us why. Like, you tried to burn this motherfucker down when you left. And now you come back and you're talking about, I'm home? No, you're not. You're broke. That's what that is. You ain't got no money. I'm home. Get the fuck out of here. You did everything you could when you left WWE to bury the fuck out of him. You said, and I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said, WWE broke his spirit as a wrestler to the point where he didn't even want to be in the business anymore. He wanted to go try MMA and other shit. He did not like wrestling anymore because of WWE. That don't sound like home.
Hey, man. Only thing I can say is time heals all.
No. What healed all was he thought the grass was greener on the other side, and he realized it wasn't.
That's another factor.
He realized the shit he was going through in WWE, being world heavyweight champion 450 days, wrestling the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but oh, God forbid you weren't in the main event, working through injuries. AJ, you're a little younger than I am. In the workforce when I was coming up, it wasn't right. You worked through stuff. You came to work when you were sick. You hurt yourself and you went back to work. And I work in a blue collar field. I was cutting a brake rod for a train with a blowtorch, and my foot started itching, the top of it. I was like, oh, what's my foot itching? And I looked down, there's smoke coming from the top of my boot. A piece of steel that I have cut with a blowtorch that was still orange burned through the top of my pants and through the top of my boot and put a 2-degree burn on the top of my foot.
Jeez.
You go back to work. You probably shouldn't, but nobody discourages you from it. As a matter of fact, they're like, okay, well, we tape it up and you go back out there. And if you say, well, I kind of want to go home, people look at you crazy. That's just the way you came up then. Was it the best? No. So for Punk to get mad and be like, everybody wanted me to keep working through my injury, that's just the way shit was. Was it right or wrong? It's probably wrong. But you can't fault the people that grew up that way until they've been educated. And now, today, if I were to do that, I'm going home. Like, you're not going to make me work through this. I know my rights and I know all that shit now. We didn't know all that shit back then. So for him to get mad and blame everybody, you have to take a step back and realize that, like, people just weren't educated at the time.
That's true. I mean, looking back at it, he probably needed that 7 years off, or we probably wouldn't be talking about the story today. But even if you have your grievances, what good could come out of airing your laundry out to the world like that? Why don't you just keep it behind the scenes? You know?
Yeah, he wanted to fucking, again, he wanted to burn the motherfucker down, like I said. So for him to come back and say, I'm home, I was told that I would have to leave and come back. Like, I get it, that's all storyline, and you're not placating to the smart fans. But at the same time, like, you told us what happened. You know, like, we're not subscribing to PW Torch or Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful. Like, you told us for free. Fuck WWE. I'll never fucking go back there. You walked out and you quit. You said it'll be a cold day in hell. Where's Triple H tweeted that picture out with that caption? Be a cold day in hell before I ever go back to WWE. And then you come back talking this I'm home bullshit. Give me something. This is your first promo in WWE in 10 years. The prodigal son comes back. Give me a good promo. He said a whole lot to not say a goddamn thing.
Well, he's probably on a short leash. He probably had to stick within his boundaries or script. And if that's the case, WWE writers need to kick themselves in the ass. Like, why wouldn't you at least throw some storyline in there?
I'm so glad you said that. You said he's on a short leash. And I said this in our Discord. WWE doesn't need CM Punk. CM Punk needs WWE. WWE, for the last 6 months, twice a week, a press release comes out and said, we've broken records for this market. We've never made this much money on a SmackDown here in fucking Wichita, Kansas. We've never made this much money on a Raw in Omaha, Nebraska. We've never had an MSG show make this much money. They're doing fine. AEW needed CM Punk, which is why he could act the way he acted so much. WWE doesn't need CM Punk. He needs them. I think he's going to be on his best fucking behavior. And honestly, I might come out on the other end of this run and being like, he ain't that bad.
Wishful thinking.
Because he is on a leash. Because he is doing what he's supposed to. I don't have to deal with the fucking malcontent and him going into business for himself. I can just watch this motherfucker wrestle and see what happens.
Man, I think you're going to be underwhelmed when he actually steps through the rope and the bell rings. But I digress.
Completely agree with you. I think he's the shits, honestly. That's why I never liked him. I never thought he was that good. But what I'm saying is, I think he's on a leash, like you said, and there ain't going to be any funny business. He's going to do what he's told because, again, he needs them. They don't need him. They're breaking records. The highest gross in WrestleMania, highest gross in Royal Rumble. We're going to Saudi Arabia 3 times a year. We got all these fucking other countries we're putting pay-per-views and shit in now. We don't need CM Punk to sell tickets.
Very true. And I've heard I can't remember who it might have been busted open, might have been someone else. They were like, okay, I expect him to do a year, do what he needs to do. But then they didn't really explain like why they only expect him to do a year. If he's doing good, why wouldn't he go past a year? Are you alluding that he's gonna blow it up again in a year? Like, I
I
didn't
think
get
this
that.
is it's like a trial period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a trial period, like a trial run. You get you got like 90 days to return something to the store if you don't like it, get your money back.
Yeah. You're usually on a 90-day probation period.
Yeah, I think that's all that is.
I mean, if all goes well though, you should probably want to extend it past a year. But I kind of get what they're saying. But let's hope he doesn't go off the rail. Like, it's entertaining, but it's also like a headache. Keep reading stories about that, and it's like a broken record. Like, come on,
Yeah.
man. But yeah, it's definitely interesting seeing him back. So, besides how they actually executed, I know you say you enjoyed that. Overall, what are your thoughts on him being back?
Again, I loved how they brought him back on Survivor Series. I wasn't a fan of I feel like they ignored a lot of shit. Like there's obvious tension with him and Rollins. We don't need to ignore that. Let's go. Like, what did he come back for? He's cleared to wrestle, I'm guessing. Don't give me this fucking politician promo that he gave me on Monday night. Let's talk some shit, let's stir some shit up, and let's fucking go.
I agree. They didn't really push the storyline, but how do you feel about him as a person and being back in the company? You touched on it a little bit earlier about he said I'm home, but you like that's BS. How do you actually feel about him being back in the company in the
I
grand
don't
scheme
like
of
him.
things?
I don't like him. WWE was doing fine. They don't need him. AEW needed him. If you go back through the archives and you listen to the show after he came back, I'm pretty sure I can tell you that I don't like the guy, but this is going to be good for wrestling. This is going to be good for the AEW fans. This is going to be good for wrestling because he's gonna move the needle for him, right? WWE doesn't need him. So to me, he's just taking TV time away from people that I'd rather see. Becky Lynch had a 50-second promo last night. 2 nights after winning the women's War Games match, 2 years in a row. She's been the one getting the pinfall or submission in the women's War Game match. She had a 50-second promo because CM Punk was there.
Man, they
Jay
could have.
Uso,
Go ahead.
Jay Uso did shit backstage. He did a run in at the end, but he was doing shit backstage with Randy Orton.
I
There's
mean, I mean, what else did you want from Jay Uso though?
I wanted him to come out during Orton's fucking either during his promo or when what would have been better?
What's
When
that?
Judgment Day came out, if he would have came and helped Orton. And then they would have had a moment out there in the ring, not a fucking 15-second behind the scenes thing. There's so many other people I'd rather see than CM Punk. Honestly, I wish it would have worked out in AEW to where he was there helping that side as opposed to being a small fish in a big pond now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, AEW does need him, but I think in the long run, this will help them grow on their own. See if you can swim on your own. See if you can still flow as a company without having him. But like you said, they do need him. But sometimes you got to bruise yourself to make yourself stronger in the long run. So I think that's how they'll have to proceed now. But going back to CM Punk, like actually being in the company, man, I absolutely love it. I like seeing the world set on fire and set ablaze. I like the internet community going crazy. As far as him, as far as him actually
Niggas
wrestling,
burning CM Punk shirts from AEW right now.
yeah, I see, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. Like as a wrestler, I'm not really a fan of him. As a person, I think he's whiny, but I just like seeing chaos, man.
Yeah.
And I usually don't interact with the internet community, but I had time for it this past weekend. Not too much, but I was interacting with some of the people on there, and it was like basically 3 groups of people, and I had to respond to all of them because I'm always a pretty even keel person. Like I like to see everything from all perspectives. So you had the AEW fans, they were like, he's such a big hypocrite. And I don't believe anything he says now. And F this guy.
He is a bit of a hypocrite though.
And I'm like, and to those fans, I was saying, like, you weren't saying this 3 months ago when he was in your company. And they ain't really had anything to really say back to me.
That wasn't hypocritical though, him going to AEW. Him being WWE is hypocritical.
They kicked him out of the company.
He quit, EJ.
Who?
Fuck quit WWE. They didn't kick him out.
About AEW, he got fired. I mean, I think it's petty, but like if y'all kick me out, then I'm gonna go back to a major company that does want me.
He got fired with just cause. The nigga assaulted somebody. He assaulted a coworker.
It's Jungle Boy Jack Perry, man. You need.
It doesn't matter.
He's a young boy.
If this was his first offense, EJ, I'd be on Team EJ right now. But this motherfucker caused trouble the whole time he was there. He was daring Tony Khan to fire him. You saw the brawl out press conference. You looked that motherfucker in the eye and said, shut the fuck up. I'm talking.
Like I said on previous shows, he didn't go about it the right way, but the little high school things behind the scene, they did all they could to press his button. And
I agree.
Who I'm talking about, the elite, and then they have the little minions like a Jack Perry. He went about it the complete wrong way.
I agree.
Well, I mean, it shouldn't have happened, but now that it does happen, I want to make money. I'm not gonna just sit on my hands. So I get you. Yeah, you say he's a little hypocrite. They fired him on his wedding day, but hey, money talks. So
they technically they fired him on his wedding day, but he quit.
Yeah, it's a man.
He walked out. He walked out and said he's never doing it again. And eventually they said, all right, well, he ain't coming back. It just so happened to be his wedding day. Again, you know who would have never known that? Me or you. But he decided to go talking about this shit everywhere. I've never worked for that company and they fired me on my wedding day. I'm home. Shut the fuck up. Hypocrite.
Yeah, so back to my point, I was interacting with those type of fans and that didn't consume a lot of my day. But then you had 2 sets of WWE fans who I was responding to. You had the ones that like, I don't want to see him in this company at all. Why not? I mean, I understand that he's a crybaby, but he's going to bring eyes to the television. I'm sure the Monday Night Raw that we just watched yesterday, I'm sure the ratings were through the roof. T-shirt sales through the roof. What did they say? It was the most viewed social media?
I mean, but they do that every week, though. Like, yeah, he broke it this week, but last week somebody else broke it. You know? If he wouldn't have came back, it would have been R-Truth that broke it if it wasn't Punk. Like, they do this. This is what WWE does now. They don't need him to do that.
They don't need him, but it's still icing on the cake. Like, it was all over the news, on like mainstream news, not just the wrestling bubble. And I mean, I kind of get your sentiment. He's taking up somebody's spot. Like, it's only but so many spaces, but the cream always rises to the top. If it meant to shine and you're going to shine through, I think he's going to be more so in this edge role. And that's basically like swapping 1 for 1. I don't think he's going to be on TV wrestling every week. I might be wrong.
He can't. He gets hurt every time he wrestles.
Yeah, he's brittle. He is brittle. But he tried in AEW and it backfired on him.
would say, but he tried.
And Triple H is smart. He's not even gonna let him try. Hey, you only wrestling on PLEs or special Raw. So I mean, you might not like him, but he's gonna garner attention. So that was one set of fans I was reacting to. And then the third set of fans, it's just fans I just hate interacting with. This is the biggest move in WWE history. WWE can do no wrong. All right. Like, why do you have to down other companies just to prove that the other company is quote unquote superior? Like,
yeah,
that's just corny to me. Wrestling is good when the whole business is doing good. So you could be happy for your company, but not shit on other companies. So that's the fans that I hate the most out of those three fans I just talked about.
yeah. That's the if you say Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, you're shitting on Dak Prescott. No, I'm not. I'm just saying Jalen Hurts is good. I didn't say anything about that. No, if you saying Jalen's good, you're saying Dak sucks. It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying Jalen's good and Dak's better.
Yeah, but that's not what I was seeing. I was seeing that, and then they would say something about AEW after that. You could have just left it at that, and it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But why
You got to
you?
take shots.
Yeah, and like I'm all about the lighthearted. Like there was a bunch of Tony Khan memes that were funny, but were lighthearted. But when you started getting mean spirited, and I'm like, that's lame. Like I'm sure you saw the Tony Khan memes. A lot of those were funny. Like the CM Punk one was like, this is how the hard cam side looks
Oh my
with
God.
people in it.
Why are there people on the hard cam side? I saw it.
See, that's like lighthearted, funny, but then you had some other mean spirited ones. I can't even remember off the top of my head. I'm like, all right, you're being lame and corny. Because if it wasn't any other company, you have like hundreds of wrestlers not employed by now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah. But yeah, all in all, like I said, I like to see the world set on fire. So I'm here for the ride to see how this plays out. But like you said, why didn't they follow up with a Seth Rollins? Like they're trying to keep them away, and there's no pay-per-view anytime soon. So maybe that's why. But why not drop like like an egg in there really quickly, or like set it off a little bit and maybe pull it back and then return to it. Why not address? You didn't address it at all. So yeah, I didn't get that.
Something you talked about in your three keys were you said swapping Edge for CM Punk. In our notes, you said AEW signed Copeland, Osprey, Jay White, Mariah May in 2023. Technically, they've signed Ronda, haven't they? Isn't she working with ROH?
I'm hearing it's like a handshake agreement, nothing in ink. So,
Okay.
and it's an ROH. Like, that's so stupid.
Versus WWE, who's got Punk, Dragon Lee, Jade, and Pillman Jr. I'm guessing what you wanted me to do was pick a winner out of this.
Yeah, like, yeah, who quote unquote won the trade?
There's two winners.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to tell me which company's going to make the most money off of who they sign, WWE is. Between Punk and Jade, Pillman Jr. doesn't matter. Dragon Lee is, they're trying to find another Rey Mysterio. And that's what Dragon Lee is. Don't get me wrong, he can fucking do it too. Like, he's good as shit. That's all that is. If you're telling me who's going to have the best matches and intrigue me the most, Will Ospreay and Jay White in AEW is already off to a good start. Will Ospreay hadn't even done anything yet besides announce that he's in AEW. Jay White's had a really good storyline, really good matches. I'm sorry. Storyline with MJF's not that good because he stole the belt and lost. But before that, he's had really good matches with FTR. Even the match with MJF was really good. So I'm saying it depends on what you're asking me, your criteria for who won. Money, WWE. Better product on TV, AEW.
Yeah, I mean, kind of answered it perfectly because I was I was asking it because I don't even think there's an answer for it because I
Yeah,
saw a lot of fans going back and forth online. Well, give me an edge for Punk all day. I mean,
not me. I don't like either one of them.
yeah, no. Punk
But
Punk is like literally the internet age of like popularity. I think he's popular, more popular than Edge in that aspect. But as
oh
far
yeah,
as name value, they're probably not that far apart as far as actual name value.
Punk is a lightning rod though. Like you can say I'm an Edge fan in a room full of people, and people be like, okay, cool. You can say I'm a CM Punk fan, and you're gonna have five people on this side say, "Let me tell you why I don't like CM Punk," and then five people over here say, "Let me tell you what CM Punk is a Dallas Cowboys of pro wrestling."
Yeah, perfect way to put it. Like,
I'm a Cowboys fan. If I wear a Dallas Cowboys hat out in public, I'm gonna have people that I don't know coming up to me telling me why the Cowboys can't win the Super Bowl this year because their left tackle is old, their right tackle is not that good. Jerry Jones is still in charge. Who do you cheer for, sir? Oh, I'm a Seahawks fan or I'm a Titans fan. Why do you know so much about my team? And then I'm gonna have five people come up. I've been a Cowboys fan since 1983, and they give me their whole life story. That's CM Punk.
yeah, you put it perfectly. Polarizing lightning rod. And yeah, but yeah, like you said, like you tell the Edge fan that they're gonna like, oh, cool. But yeah, it's like you said, in ring AEW, those are home run hits, but WWE is gonna make the most money. So there you go for all you IWC who are talking about trades and whatnot.
Speaking of Jade, real quick, tell me why your boy Triple H basically said AEW didn't teach her shit when she was there.
I saw that. She was like,
my
she's still
man said, my man said she ain't ready to be on TV yet, through no fault of her own. It's it's worse. It's how she was raised.
little subtle shots. I mean,
He said that shit so coy. I was like, this nigga just said what I think he said.
as far as I'm sure she's learned a whole lot in ring. I mean, that's what happens when you hire somebody that doesn't have any experience and they don't have the infrastructure to teach people like that. Besides the Nightmare Factory what they had, but that left.
QT's gone.
Yeah.
What
Did
QT
any
Marshall out of there?
hold up, what would you say after QT?
He's gone. He's out of there.
Has anything emerged from that? I know you posted it in
No, he just
Discord.
resigned. He said AEW is basically not the company that he was working for 4 years ago when he started.
I
They're
mean,
going in a different direction. Basically the
true.
same shit Cody said. The same shit. Who else resigned lately?
I mean, you had like Sonny Kiss and wrestlers like that. I don't even know
No,
if they
there was
resigned.
somebody else, but Cody basically said the same thing. He's like, we have creative and philosophical differences.
I
CM
mean,
Punk, CM Punk clearly had differences with AEW.
that's more so on a personal level, I guess. But I mean, you could take that as a positive or negative. If you're the same company that you are 4 years ago, then are you grown as a company? He didn't really elaborate. I need to hear more details.
I think they're growing the wrong way than what AEW was built on. I
I
think that's
mean,
what they meant.
they're built on being like sports and the actual wrestling company, but you're a guy, you like storylines. So you gotta have some type of storylines in there.
Yeah. Or just have somebody that looks like Fallon Henley on TV.
I
Whew,
mean, that's a conversation for a different podcast.
that's a bird of a different feather. And now they got Nikita Lyons on TV kickboxing a fucking body bag and
uh,
leopard printed spandex.
she's back. Get her off my
No, she
TV.
ain't back. She's just this is her social media. Shout out to the boy Devin, Aaron's son. He sent this. Oh, she is on TV. Look at that. She's in the crowd watching, doing her little rah shit.
Well, this ain't the pandemic era. Why she in the crowd?
Oh, still hurt, I guess.
And stay your ass at home if you hurt.
Well, the thing was, stay home if you sick, come over if you thick, and and she can come over. Um, and now here comes Keanu James. Let me refocus and get back here. Uh, power rankings, EJ.
Yes, sir. I think I went first last week.
Oh my god, I gotta go first. Give me Rhea Ripley, number 5.
Huh.
Mommy,
Interesting.
mommy's always on top.
Rhea Ripley, number 5. That's interesting. My number 5. Give me the winner. Well, she's one of the winners, but she got the pin of War Games. Give me the man Becky Lynch at number 5. Number 4, I got who's starting to shape as a pretty dastardly heel. He's starting to garner some heat. I got Santos Escobar, the win over Dragon Lee on the Survivor Series.
My boy,
Yeah,
big Escobar fan.
You're an Escobar fan?
I like Escobar, I really do.
Yeah. What pops off the screen when you're watching him?
I don't know. He's good in the ring. I like normally I don't like this. I love the way he transitioned his promos from English to Spanish. I don't know, something about the way he does it works for me. I love the suits. I hope he gets his crew back together.
Yeah, they
But
gotta get that.
I love him telling Ray, like, I hope your fucking surgery goes shitty and they gotta cut your goddamn leg off. I don't know. That's just some gangster shit to say to somebody, right? I hope you can never come. I don't even want to fight you no more. I hope they got to cut your fucking leg off.
Yeah, that's
I did
cold.
this to you.
Yeah, that's cold. I'm digging that.
Yeah, so I'm a big Santos guy. My number 4, Swerve.
Man,
It's in the Continental Classic this week.
man, you kind of read my mind. I was gonna put him on there, but I left him off. I was literally gonna put him at number 5, but I'm like, let me slide Becky into that because of that win in the Continental Classic. And I was thinking about it a little bit. I I, I get why he's in it, but I don't even want him messing with that. Just move him to the main event scene.
I'm so glad you said this because I want to talk about it. I feel like he's gonna win, and I don't like it.
You think so?
Yeah.
But then you know how it's a round robin. It's a the G1 Classic or Climax or
Yeah.
y'all know what I'm talking about. New Japan's. It's a rip off of that.
I think
he's gonna just go undefeated in it.
I don't think he's gonna go undefeated. I think he's gonna win the whole thing. Though he's gonna be the first New Japan / AEW champion.
But then he's gonna take unnecessary L's along the way. I just don't want him. I don't want him in this tournament. I don't want him to be that Continental Classic champion either.
I don't like it. I want him to beat MJF.
And so it was good that he wasn't just out of sight, out of mind, that they actually had him on the episode following Full Gear, but I don't like him in that capacity. I'm with you on that. So
yeah.
My
number 3 would be and still your Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the King General Gunther.
Hey, did I already say my number 4? I said Santos, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about them having Gunther win with like a different finishing move every time?
I fucking love it. I'm glad you asked me that. I love that he is so good. He doesn't have a finisher. He just fucking okay. Oh, your back's fucked up? Let me put my knee into it in the middle of this Boston crab. And winning with a Boston crab in Chicago, he trolled them motherfuckers. They didn't even know it. They didn't even know it.
I didn't know Chicago and Boston had beef like that.
Oh, yeah. The Bulls and the Celtics? Are you kidding me? don't like each other.
Yeah, yeah, I guess.
Um, and our boy Joel, shout out to him, Rat's House of Retro. He echoed my sentiment. I love the finish of Gunther matches when it's a fucking tit for tat match and he'll hit a big move at the end and then the urgency kicks in and he's just like, I'm about to hit 5 finishers on your motherfucking ass, one after the other. Not a pose, not a cock my fist and do a Superman punch and do the ooh ah. No. I'm gonna clothesline you. I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna clothesline you again. I'm gonna roll you over. I'm gonna power bomb you, and I'm gonna jump off the top rope before you can fucking say ouch. And then I'm gonna pin you. I love it.
Yeah. So that's a good segue to my number 3 because I also have Gunther as my number 3. And yeah, man, I like the fact that you don't know what he's gonna finish you with. That kind of mirrors a real like shoot MMA fight. Like you might win by knockout, you might win by Kimura, might win by TKO elbows. So yeah, I like the raw realness factor when he goes in the ring. He just makes you feel like he's actually beating the shit out of you, and he probably is actually beating the shit out of him.
Right.
I'm sure he's working hella stiff in there. So I got
Them
Gunther at
fucking
number
red
3.
marks on the motherfucker's chest ain't fake.
Yeah, exactly. I got him as number 3. Number 2, the Viper. You're returning Randy Keith Orton with the RKO on JD McDonough off the cage. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And then coming back and beating Dom Dom on Raw. The boy's back. How'd you feel about that RKO? People were going crazy. I thought it was cool. I'd like the one that he did on Rollins WrestleMania better.
Yeah. He's had some really good ones. I saw he did one on Dolph Ziggler here in Atlanta. I think he had him up for like a power bomb, maybe. He did something where it was, I think he was just trying different RKOs at the time, but he hit Dolph Ziggler with one here in Atlanta. Also, the best part of WrestleMania here in Atlanta 27, Randy Orton versus CM Punk. Randy Orton catches Punk with an RKO off the top rope and beats him 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton also one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So him beating CM Punk like popped me at WrestleMania here in Atlanta. But yeah, his you know, I liked it and I didn't like it. It was so set up and so like JD had a little platform to stand off of and jump. Like I get you want to be safe, but that kind of takes me out of it.
I'm glad you brought that up because let's circle back to the women's match. I know you enjoyed it a lot, but I hate how they all stand around. It looked cool when EO put the garbage can, but like they all got to gather around. I just hate that spot in general. I'm not nitpicking at EO. I just hate that spot in general where people have to gather around. I know they need a base, but every time they do it, it doesn't look natural. And then also your girl, I'm being sarcastic, Charlotte with that moonsault where she almost killed people.
EO, she almost killed EO.
Yeah, there you go.
You tell me how a woman can put a trash can on the top of her head and do a better move off the top of a cage than a woman who's just up there. EO's at least look good. Charlotte's look like she just did a backflip, landed on her feet, and landed on EO's head. I don't get it. And we talked about this last week. I told you she was going to do that. There's going to be a point where Charlotte does a moonsault off the top of the cage. It's going to look like shit.
And man, that's why I popped when she did it. I think it looks terrible, but I get enjoyment every time she does it because I know it's going to make you mad.
That's fucked up.
She's like pushing 40. Not that I'm not age shaming or anything. Like, if you could do less wear and tear on your body, why not just eliminate that? It's unnecessary.
She literally said in the press conference after, like, I had to do my moonsault.
No,
she said
you didn't.
She basically said I had to get my shit in.
You didn't have to do it. You wanted to do it.
Meanwhile, Becky's sitting over there like, I don't do that type of shit. I'm over as a motherfucker.
Exactly. You're doing too much, Charlotte.
We don't normally do this, but I'm gonna put her on here. I'll do Becky as an honorable mention because she won, but I'm gonna put Bailey on here, my number 2 in the power rankings.
Man, she was taking bullets left and right for Damage Control.
I feel like Bailey was the MVP of that match.
And they're probably not going to appreciate that at all. They're probably going to do this girl dirty.
Damage Control?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. They're going to beat the shit out of her.
So we're kind of foreshadowing if they do turn her babyface again. How do you think they approach this time? I don't think they could go back to the hugger. I think that's dead and gone.
I don't know if she'll be a babyface or not. They're just going to beat the shit out of her in Damage Control might turn babyface by beating Bailey's ass because Bailey's such a fucking bitch, for lack of a better term. Like,
I get what you're saying, but the goal was probably not to turn them face by beating her up and kicking her out.
yeah, I mean, the goal was not to turn Becky Lynch babyface when she turned on Charlotte.
I know, but no, it's a perfect storm for everybody to love Becky. I don't think if they would beat her up, I don't think the fans would start cheering necessarily. They might not just like either one of them. They might just hate both of them. But yeah, I mean, still didn't get my question answered. Like, if she hypothetically, if they do try to make her fade, how do you think they approach it?
I don't think she'll go back to the hugger. I think I don't know, she'll just be Bailey. I mean, she was pretty much a baby face when she was doing that ding dong hello in her fucking talk show where she was Sally Jesse Raphael. They'll probably go back to that Bailey.
So
People
like,
love her doing that.
like kind of keep her edge a little bit, but then throw a little comedy in there.
Yep.
I can see them doing that. I mean, she did grow her hair back out, so maybe they tried to do the hugger, but I think it's a little corny. What do I know? I don't have the pen. Yeah. And then the way they set it up in the match, I mean, they set her up as baby face-ish with her taking the bullets for everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's pretty intriguing now. I mean, it's interesting because they took that December pay-per-view off. They used to do like a TLC or something like that. Then they used to do that like in December.
I don't know when Yeah, I think TLC was in December. You're right. A couple years ago.
That. So this is like the time of the year where I hope they don't just coast. I hope they actually try to set storylines up for Rumble, but Rumble's not till what, end of January?
Yep.
So I think this is very important for them as far as like interest to actually keep some stuff going on. I don't know why they got rid of the December pay-per-view. I think it's like a nice little stopgap, but yeah, I mean, I guess it garners more excitement and, build more excitement up for the Royal Rumble, but we'll have to see. That was your number 2 though?
Number 1, the returning Randy Orton.
Randy Keith Orton. How do you feel about him using the RKO still if the reason why he was gone it was his back?
I mean, his shoulder was fucked up years ago too, and he still used the RKO. He wouldn't do it if it was detrimental to him, Not like Nikki Bella, who they said your neck's fucked up, but she kept doing the fucking rack attack.
Yeah, but doesn't that like wear and tear add up though? He might be good now.
I don't think. I mean, it's no different than him getting body slammed. It's the same way to fall down.
How many body slams is he taking nowadays?
I mean, it's a bump. It's a flat back bump, like what he's doing. Like, I don't. All right, so if I got to do the RKO, you can only slam me 2 times instead of 3.
It's a good way. I'm just trying to, gauge it because that's a lot of people's gripes online that he might have needed to get rid of it.
Man, you can't be Randy Orton and not do the RKO. What is he gonna do? A power bomb now?
People were saying to replace it with the punt, but that's like something that you pull out when you gotta like send somebody in the shelf. You just can't use that as a finishing move.
Randy Orton debuting his new spinning toe hold. Get out of here. He's the RKO guy. If he can't RKO, he can't go to work.
He could go back to the overdrive.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't remember his move when he first came in?
Was that when he just jump off the top rope and do a crossbody?
It's MVP's finishing move.
Oh no. That little fucking reverse Russian leg sweep.
Where he has it. He has like the leg on the head like almost like a famouser, and then grab your arm and then like spin you over.
Oh, that thing. Yeah, no, he can't do that. That's just whack.
Yeah. Well, what Randy Orton's like 43, so I'm hoping
That's what he got all the muscles for. So you have the fucking something to brace his impact when he falls.
How many years you think he has left?
Shit, the way he looked, 10.
10, that's a lot. I said he's 5 and then he'll bow out.
I mean, he probably won't stay around for 10, but he could probably go 10 if he wanted to.
I mean, you see Steve Borden over there in the other company, this man's 65.
Everybody ain't built like the Stinger. He built different.
They
don't make him like the Stinger anymore.
That's true.
Ask Undertaker.
Let's not talk about that guy. Overrated.
This fucking loser.
I don't go all that. I just think he's overrated.
He's a fucking loser.
Level. You just took it to a different level.
What's the difference? Overrated or fucking loser? What's the difference?
Overrated is like he's on some people's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, he's a loser. He's not.
I think he was good. He was good in his role. I don't think he's a Mount Rushmore wrestler though.
He's a bag carrier. Carry Steve Austin's bags.
You went over the edge again.
No, I didn't go over the edge. That's what Ricky Starks did.
If you listen to this, Undertaker, Mark Calloway, I don't want no
fuck
smoke.
You.
I don't want no smoke.
If you listen to this, fuck you.
I don't want no smoke with you. You're okay in my book, just not on my Rushmore.
Yeah, you're okay as an average.
All right, let's get back on track. My number one.
Take a break. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
You want to take a break?
Do your number one, then we'll take a break for a second.
My number one is Chris Rucker's all-time favorite wrestler. One, Phil Brooks, chick magnet.
He didn't even wrestle.
Hey, sometimes, like you said, sometimes we don't stick to the rules. You know, my list is usually people that actually wrestle, but I wanted to pop Rucker on this, so I got Punk as on number one.
You know what you did? You did the same shit that WWE did with that storyline. You're just trying to get a reaction out of me. And I ain't gonna give it to you. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what y'all want me to do, and I'm just gonna cheer for Randy Orton when he comes out. Good list. Good list, EJ.
Hey, that's what I do.
All right. Let's take a quick break. Next up on the docket, EJ, we got listener questions. It was
Ooh.
such a hit last week. I decided to do it again this week.
Ooh. What do they
And
have for us?
let's go in here and find them. Um, Nico Dad 26 says, "Will MJF be the next AEW star that makes the jump to WWE?"
So is he saying immediately next?
He's just saying the next guy, the next big name. You had Cody, you had Jade, now you got CM Punk. Is MJF going to be the next person on that tier to go to WWE?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say it's gonna be some people in between there, but I think he does eventually get over there. I think he probably just re-signed that we don't know about it. I think that War 2024, I don't think that's gonna be a real thing. What say you?
I think he resigned, and I think he regrets it. I think he resigned like 6 months ago, or maybe a year ago when he won the world title, and I think he's regretting it. But
I don't
yeah,
think he regrets it.
I do think he'll be the next big star to go. I don't think Moxley's going to go back. I think Brian will retire before he goes back. Who else is that big over there? Britt Baker?
Yeah, maybe somebody from the women's division, or they may not be on the level of MJF. I could see like a Andrade or Malachi going back.
That's not big though. Just random, real quick. I got NXT playing. I want to see Wardlow versus Braun Breaker.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I'm not clamoring for it, but if it happened, I could even see a Wardlow going over there before MJF.
It's one of the reasons I said it. But I'm watching Braun Breaker come out, and I thought it was Wardlow. And then when I realized it was Breaker, I was like, also, he's got a horribly drawn in beard. Like, it's so obvious his beard's drawn in. Like, when you watch NXT tonight, watch Braun Breaker's intro when he gets in the ring. It looks so bad, EJ. It looks like one of those Instagram things where you're watching the barbers like spray paint
Yeah.
the little plate right there. It's bad.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I just want to see them two beat the shit out of each other.
well, Wardlow's bigger than Braun Breaker. I don't know how you mistake those
Taller,
two.
maybe.
He's like yo. Braun Breaker. Don't get me wrong. Braun Breaker is Jack Dude.
No, I think they're close to the same size than you think.
I don't know. I have to look at
Yeah,
their weights.
I'll look it up right now then.
Wardlow, he had like at least 20 pounds on Braun Breaker, unless he's shorter. If he's shorter, then all bets are off.
Wardlow's build at 6'2", 277 pounds.
Yeah, Braun Breaker ain't no dang 270. I give Braun Breaker about 240.
You're 10 off. Braun Breaker's 6 feet, 230.
Yeah, I know. I know it wasn't crazy.
That's not a lot though when you're that big. 40 pounds ain't a lot when you're that big.
I just know Wardlow looks like a bigger dude, but like I said, Braun Breaker is a stout, strong dude too. So no shade at Braun.
So yeah, I think MJF will be the next guy to go. And you said no?
Nah, I think it's gonna be some people in between. I think he probably sounded like a lengthy extension, and I don't think he regrets it though. You say he regrets? I don't think he's in the spot that he wants to be in right now. He's the
I think he's
champion.
looking at it now like fuck.
He's the champion. I mean,
yeah, the champion of a fucking company that doesn't even have fans on the hard cam side 9 times out of 10.
we could talk all day about the attendance, and we have. I'm just talking about as far as like being in the position that he's in.
Right. And I think that he's regretting it. Yeah, he's a champion, but business isn't doing good. Through no fault of his. I think things around him are faulting why AEW is not growing. And I think he's realized, again, this is just me saying what I think. I think he's realizing like shit, no matter how hard I fucking try, I got all these other variables here fucking it up for everybody.
Yeah, well, this is all speculation. Um, I think when he goes to WWE, it's gonna be the perfect time for him to do that. And I don't think he sees Roman still on top. I think when he goes over, he just wants to be in the main event spot immediately. I think if he went over there right now, he wouldn't be. So I think he has it all mapped out at this point. Because if he wanted to be over there, he wouldn't have signed the extension. Because Cody's been over there since early 2022, and that's his best friend. So I think
He ain't
that
Cody though.
what's that?
He ain't Cody. I love MJF, but he's not a WWE main eventer. He's the Miz with profanity.
He probably you don't think he sees himself as a main eventer though?
He can see himself as whatever he wants, but when he goes over there, he ain't in the main event right now.
And that's why I'm telling you. That's why I don't think he regrets it because he has to know he wouldn't be in the main event spot right now.
I think he regrets it because he's not comparing himself to Cody. He's comparing himself to Jade. And I think he's looking and he's like, fuck. Jade was the shit here. She can't even get on TV in WWE, but she's in NXT and she's learning. Every day, she's being taught by Shawn Michaels and Fit Finley and Sarah Del Rey, right? All these people that are here teaching her. I ain't getting none of that shit. They got me out here with Adam Cole.
He's pretty. He could, of course, he could learn little stuff here and there, but he's pretty much where he needs to be in the ring. Like people, he's been putting on bangers.
Oh, I'm not gonna disagree with that at all.
I don't see, like I said, of course you could pick the mind of a great like Shawn Michaels. I know you're not a fan, but he's pretty much there. Like you could polish some things here and there, but Jay definitely needed it. JF not so much. I said, I think he's gonna eventually be over there, but I think he's got it planned. He's only like 26. He's got time, and I just think more a name or two will go in there in between.
From the
Good
Heat
question.
Check podcast, the Heat Check podcast, our boy Chaos. Does Punk ever get back to wearing a title in the WWE?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't see him with. I mean, he's at the point where I think he just wants to do fun matches. So I was gonna say I don't see him with a mid card title, but that's the only title that I can see him winning. I don't know because I was gonna say you got that Seth's belt. I hope not. I just hope not because he's hurt. Like, why would you put the title on him if you know that he might not be able to defend it?
That's my answer. I think if he wasn't so fragile, they would. But his last two title reigns in AEW, since he's been back in the past 9 years, he's had to forfeit the title due to injury. WWE ain't gonna put the title on you when you can't work. Look what happened to Dolph Ziggler. He finally won the world title, cashing in on Del Rio, and got a concussion. He was never looked at the same.
Yeah, there you have it. You think Punk main events one of the WrestleMania nights?
Oh shit, no, fuck no. Curtain jerker, and not in a bad way. That's also curtain jerker is always a derogatory term.
Not
What I've heard from every wrestler: if you're not last, go first.
yeah, not in the wrestling business. Maybe if you're on
Yeah,
boxing or MMA card, but not in the wrestling business.
If your music's not playing last to end the night, you want your music to be the first music that plays. I can't tell you how many times when Becky Lynch was at her hottest as the man, but they were having other people main event, they would always start the show out with her music first. Even when she was a champion, she would still be the first one to come out. Get the crowd fucking hype.
You think that they put a woman in the main event, one of the main event spots then?
Depends on who it is. If you give me Becky versus Rhea, yeah, that can main event night one.
If so, let me play the other side of things. If they put another male in there, what do you think it should be? Since you say not Punk,
Not Roman.
we're already having that on night two. That's probably Roman and Cody, hypothetically, or Roman and Rock, which I doubt. That's a long shot. That's already night one. I mean, night two. I'm saying, what do you think the male main event would be on night one.
Brock versus Gunther.
I'm on the opposite side of things with you. I think that should be the curtain jerker, and then a Punk and Rollins should be the main event of night one. If they don't main event a woman, I think they should put a woman on that spot just because they didn't do it last year or the year before last. The last time they had it was Sasha and Bianca.
Yeah.
You got Becky and Rhea. You got to put that on main event.
Yeah, because I can't say this because it was Stone Cold's first match in 20 years or whatever. But I feel like that Becky versus Bianca match was a WrestleMania main event match. The build for it was really good. The actual match was really fucking good. The crowd involvement was really good. But it's fucking Stone Cold coming back, man. It's just what can you do?
You said Bianca and Becky
at WrestleMania.
Okay, yeah, you're right. For some reason I thought you said Bianca and Sasha. Yeah, Bianca and Becky didn't main event, but that was a really good match though.
It's a really good story, really good program. Like the whole thing was that if Stone Cold doesn't come back, there's nothing on that night one that should have main evented over that. But it was fucking Stone Cold coming back in Texas. That was just bad timing, you know. Sorry, ladies.
And I don't think you had too much pushback on that. But I think we probably did already touch on this. What do you think about the following year when you had the tag team instead of Charlotte and Rhea, which Charlotte was complaining about?
There was no story with Charlotte and Rhea.
I agree.
Like that was thrown together so quick. This was the bloodline, the fallout, Sammy leaving, Jay turning on Sammy and KO getting back together. Like this was the main event. And it was, you know, and I love women's wrestling, E.J. Like I'm the biggest proponent for women's wrestling that I know. But you can't be like, well, it's the first time ever for women. And then when it's the first time ever for a tag team match is never main evented wrestling. Not an actual Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. That I don't look at that as that count. But an actual tag team, the Usos versus Sammy and KO,
you could say championship tag team match.
Yeah. First time ever in the history. You can't get mad at that and be like, well, we're women. Cool. You had no story, Charlotte. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I'm all about the progression for women's wrestling because they've been held back in a lot of ways, you know, the prior history of women being in wrestling, but you also don't want to put them in there just to say that you did it, just to tick a box if there's no storyline.
Exactly.
Going in there. And
Sasha and Bianca had a story. Mm-hmm. Becky and Ronda had a story, even though Charlotte was thrown in there. Becky was at the time the biggest star in WWE. It made sense. Charlotte and Rhea didn't make sense in main event.
Yeah, so sorry for you, Charlotte. That was a good question, though. We got any more up?
Oh, we got a couple more. We got 4 more, actually. We'll try to go a little faster, I guess, because we still got to get to NFL picks. Peteopolis, what up, Pete? Give us a post-Survivor Series match. 5-on-5. Team Punk versus Team Rollins. Can Punk get 4 more people to be on this team? And if so, what are the teams?
In real life, no. But let's talk about storyline.
I'm on Team Rollins in real life. Sign me up.
Man, that's a good question because I really don't know who you put on Punk's side.
I'll
let you go first. Well, you can just have them combined and we'll just, like we did last week.
All right, Team Punk. Give me... I'll put Randy Orton on Team Punk.
Okay.
I feel like Orton's one of those guys that he could go either way, Team Punk or Team Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll put him on Punk's team.
So I guess we're gonna go. We have to make it like it doesn't matter SmackDown or Raw. So
Right.
let me get KO on Punk's team. They seem like they may be cut from the same cloth somewhat.
That's a good one. Well, if you're gonna do KO, I'll put Sami Zayn on there.
All right, that makes sense. That's four
That's
total.
3, 4. Yeah, you got one more.
Man, that's what I put in there. Let me get Finn Balor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So that's Punk's team. What about Rollins' team?
Cody.
Yeah, Cody. Oh man, let me get. It didn't really make sense, but let me get Jey Uso on there since we got Cody on there.
Well, I don't want Team Rollins to just be the same Survivor Series team. So
True.
give me the megastar. Whose game is it?
LA Knight.
Hey, not yeah.
Uh,
I annoy the shit out of my girlfriend doing that. She fucking hates LA Knight.
Hey, it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Okay, little Dwayne Johnson.
They got Ava Rain. Let me get a random person just because sometimes they always put that random person to show and prove. Give me Montez on Seth's team.
Okay. Oh, you know who would have been good for Punk's team?
Not
My
Punk's
boy
team,
Grayson.
Rollins
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
I misspoke. Who's that?
Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller would have been really good for Punk.
Hey man, I said something about him and Austin Theory that somebody didn't like. I was going back and forth with somebody, and I said, they're almost adjacent to being jobbers right now. All I have to do is see them take losses now,
Yeah.
and then like that.
But they're entertaining jobbers.
Hey,
they are jobbers, but they're entertaining as fuck.
Man. Grayson Waller. He makes me laugh sometimes. But I still don't see it with Theory. Y'all are telling me that I'll see the big picture one day, but I haven't yet.
Grayson Waller, his funniest stuff is on social media. He's fucking hilarious on Twitter. But he's funny on TV too. Like him telling KO, like he says something like, "No, there's two of us. Why don't we just beat you up? Like, what are you talking about?"
See,
like him and KO got really good chemistry together.
See, that's what I'm saying. Waller is pretty entertaining at times. I said I still don't see it with Theory though.
Yeah.
But he's like 25, so he's got time.
Our boy Rat's House of Retro, aka Kayfabe Chronicles, aka Joel, he says, "Are these recordings of superstar reactions to Punk returning legit, or are they works?"
I mean, I hadn't watched.
I hadn't seen any of them.
I've seen. I don't know what he's referring to, but there's some like YouTube people that I'm subscribed to that like do live reactions, and I'm pretty sure theirs were legit. I don't think they're getting paid under the table by WWE or anybody because like that's
He's
what
saying
they've done.
wrestlers.
He said wrestlers' reactions.
He's saying superstars. Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought he was just saying people online in general. Who had reactions? I don't know what he's talking.
I don't know. So I guess
if he's talking about the people that were actually at Survivor Series, like Rollins, then Rollins was working.
Ooh, okay, maybe that is what you're talking about. Okay. I'm thinking recordings like a live reaction, but I think you might be right. I think he's talking about like Seth's reaction, Drew McIntyre's rumored reaction. Randy Orton was sitting in a chair in the ring telling Punk to fucking wrap it up. I think it's a work. I think Rollins was work. I liked it. I liked that they didn't put it on TV. I liked that you had to go to social media to find it. I like that Rollins fucking kept to his word. Hey, Cavino and Rich asked him straight out. Our boy Chris Rucker wants to know how you feel about CM Punk. He said, "Fuck that nigga." And he kept that energy. So,
what about McIntyre though?
I don't know what that's about because his wasn't aired on TV or video. Like he just kind of left.
Yeah,
He had the shit out of Rollins last night.
Like I don't know anything about the business, but he was bleeding and Rollins wasn't, so I don't know how that works.
Also, did he forget to put fucking pants on? Like his little skirt came off and he's wearing boxers.
Somebody mentioned that, but I didn't go back and look at it. That's
He's
funny.
wearing little boxer briefs. He's wearing black boxer briefs. Like he forgot his tights.
That's funny.
Maybe that's his new outfit. I don't know. Like Austin Theory wears like bicycle shorts, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does. Players mess up too.
Yeah. Lisa Louise says, have you guys ever been to the Nightmare Factory, or are people not allowed to go there? Just curious. I have never been, but here in Atlanta, I do see a lot of advertisements for it. You're not allowed to just go there. You have to sign up to become like a wrestler to join the school, but they do have a gym where you can just sign up to go work out. It's like Nightmare Fitness or something like that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've never been, but if they have a fitness room, that sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a completely separate part of the wrestling school. Like they literally have a big ass gym. I think it's in.
Duluth.
I don't think it's Norcross. Where the fuck is it? Don't it ain't Duluth. Goddamn. Chris Hardy says, thoughts if this happy-go-lucky PG Punk is a work?
I mean, I don't. But do you think he's gonna like show his true colors and turn heel?
I think it's the same Punk that came to AEW. I'm just happy to be here. In about 3 weeks, the real Punk's gonna come out.
I don't think he goes heel though. Not right now. I just think if they do go in the direction of him and Rollins, I think they play it more so like Cena, Rock, or who else did that kind of Hogan Warrior, something like that. They don't necessarily turn either one heel. Made a best man win type deal.
Let's see. I think that was all the questions we got this week.
Word.
Let me make sure we didn't get anything on Facebook
or Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I looked on both. I think that was it for the questions. Let's get to some NFL picks, CJ, and get the hell up out of here.
Yeah, man. So we are now week 13.
5 weeks left. I still got time.
Last week you did a hell of a job. You went 13-3. You beat me.
Damn.
Not by much, but you still
that gets me to the playoffs, though.
What's that?
It gets me in the playoffs. Shit, I might have a home field advantage at 13-3.
Yeah. I just realized like all the teams played last week, which is interesting because I think they still have some bye weeks ahead.
Yeah, fucking people are still taking bye weeks this late.
Yeah. But
the Cardinals and Commanders got to bye this week, and then the fantasy football playoffs start next week, and there's teams on byes. Like, that's stupid.
Yes. Maybe because it was Thanksgiving. That's why everybody played. But yeah, you went 13-3. I went 12-4.
Oh, damn. I thought I made up some fucking ground.
No. puts you at 98-82, and I'm at 115-65.
Damn. All right, let's do this then. Thursday night football. Bill Belichick brings the New England Patriots into the Steel City to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's Thursday night football?
Yes, sir.
I could have swore the Cowboys.
Whoa. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Thursday night football. Pete Carroll leads the Seattle Seahawks into Big D to take on America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas on a 12-game home winning streak right now. Teams on a bye this week The Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Chicago Bears, the Las Vegas Raiders, the Minnesota Vikings, and the New York Football Giants.
And a lot of them are by. I mean,
Prime Video. I'm gonna have to go to the bar because I don't have Amazon Prime anymore.
ooh. Yeah, you did say you got rid of everything, of most things.
Ooh, on Black Friday, I bought Hulu with ads for 99 cents a month for a year.
I saw that deal. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, 99 cents a month. Just pay fucking $12 up front and call it a day.
Yeah, but I mean, we might as well go to the next game because we both got the Cowboys in this one.
Yep. The Los Angeles Chargers travel to New England to take on the New England Patriots.
The toilet bowl, but give me the Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers as well. The 8-3 Detroit Lions, off of a disappointing loss on Thanksgiving, travel to New Orleans to take on another team that went through a disappointing loss to the Atlanta Falcons, the New Orleans Saints.
I don't trust Derek Carr. Give me the Lions to bounce back.
I don't trust Jared Goff. I'm gonna take the Saints at home.
Word.
The 5-6 first place Atlanta Falcons in the NFC North or South, travel to East Rutherford, New Jersey to take on the New York Jets.
Oh, gosh. I think it's another one of these swing games that we have different picks. After that bullshit that they did, that New York did, that interception at halftime, got a return, I shouldn't pick them. But I don't trust the Falcons, man. It's gonna be in New York. They're gonna be outside. Yeah, I might regret this, but give me the Jets.
I was gonna pick the Jets until you picked them, but I'm gonna take the Falcons for the sole fact that I don't think the Cowboys are gonna win our division, and I'd rather the Cowboys play the Falcons than the Saints. I think they're gonna beat both of them, but if they're gonna play one of them, play here in Atlanta, and I'll go to the game. So,
fair enough.
Give me the Falcons. The Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray's back, Mighty Mouse, travel to the Steel City to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Arizona Cardinals.
I got the Steelers.
Is that a new tattoo? Or you've always had that sleeve tattoo?
I had it for over a year now.
Really? I didn't know that. Yeah. So you didn't have it when we were in St. Louis and I got my Cowboys tattoo.
I got it like 2 months after
that. Okay. Indianapolis Colts travel to Nashville to take on the Titans.
Hold on. Before you get to that, you had the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. All right. And what's this game again?
This is the Colts versus the Titans.
Man, I feel like there's a bunch of bad teams this year. What's going on? He said it's the Colts at the Titans.
Yes, sir.
Give me the Titans.
I'll take the Colts. The 8-3 Miami Dolphins, with their nerdy ass head coach, travel to the nation's capital to take on the Washington Commanders. Give me the Miami Dolphins by 1,000,000.
I got Miami.
Denver Broncos, my squad. Let Russ cook. Travel to Houston to take on the Texans. Both teams 6-5. This is gonna be a good game.
Houston lost a close one to the Jags. Denver just won, didn't they? I can't remember who they won.
Denver's on a 3-game winning streak.
I feel like Houston's gonna be in desperate, and Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Houston's gonna be in kind of a desperation mode to keep up with the wild card.
Why would they be in desperation mode? They're 6-5.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say they're out of the playoff spot right now.
I can tell you,
it might barely be out of the playoff spot.
Give me 1 second. I can tell you. AFC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Houston is number 8 in the AFC behind the Indianapolis Colts. But they got the same record.
I say they bounce
So
back in this game.
the Colts, the Texans, the Broncos, and the Buffalo Bills all have 6 wins. Buffalo has 6 losses though. So the Broncos, Texans, and Colts are all 6-5 fighting for that last playoff spot.
I got the Texans in this one in a close game.
I'm gonna take the Broncos. Let Russ cook. You got the 1-10 Carolina Panthers traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers.
I'll let you go first.
I'll take the Bucks.
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay.
The Cleveland Browns at 7-4, the number 5 seed in the AFC playoffs, with no quarterback, no running back, but a damn good defense. But Myles Garrett is a little banged up right now. Travel to Los Angeles to take on the Rams.
Man, Rams coming off another win.
Rams
I just don't trust
playoff hunt.
Yeah, I just don't trust the Cleveland's quarterback, even though they got a good defense. I'll go with the hometown team, even though they didn't really have hometown field advantage.
I feel the same way. Like Cleveland's good. They're 7-4. Like they lost Nick Chubb early. They lost Deshaun Watson like 3 weeks ago, maybe. They're 7-4. They're 1 game below the Cowboys, and we're thinking the Cowboys having a great year right now. But there's just I don't know, and I don't trust Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
Trust them more than was it DTR or whatever his name is, for the Browns quarterback.
Sure, but I'm just gonna take the Rams, but I don't have any confidence in it. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, I wish both of these teams could just lose. What if they end up in a tie? I bet that would mess everything up.
That wouldn't help the Cowboys.
Give me the 49ers.
I'll take the Niners also. The Kansas City Chiefs travel to Lambeau Field Sunday night to take on the Green Bay Packers.
I got Patty Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs as well. And Monday Night Football, the last game of the week, the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals travel to Jacksonville to take on the 8-3 Tony Khan-led Jacksonville Jaguars. I will take Jacksonville.
That's funny, man. People were flaming out. He posted a win, that a picture of them winning this past weekend, and it was still flooded with a bunch of CM Punk stuff.
People are such cocksuckers.
Yeah, get off this man's back.
Like, get off his dick.
So I got
I almost felt bad. People almost made me start being on Team Tony Khan.
And then what happened?
Then he starts like posting selfies and talking on Twitter and seeming all coked up, and I'm just like, yeah, I get why people don't like you.
Yeah. Well, I got Jacksonville.
Doesn't tie his shoes, this guy. The first AEW pay-per-view after the pandemic that had people there was in Jacksonville, and I stayed at the Marriott that the wrestlers were at. It's a long story. I won't tell you the whole story while I was there, but we stayed there, and after the show the next day, we didn't leave that morning. We left. So the show was on. If it was on Saturday night, we left on Monday morning. If it was on Sunday night, we left on Tuesday morning. So we had a whole day in between. And Tim and Angel were there. And then me and my ex were there. And we just kind of like hung by the pool. We got food. Jake Roberts was in the fucking lobby the whole time because he was living at that hotel at the time. And Britt Baker and Tony Khan walked by us at lunch. And they had a bottle of Grey Goose, probably the size of Britt Baker. And the one thing I noticed, Tony Khan doesn't tie his shoes. He walked past us 5 times. and his shoes were untied every fucking time I saw him.
Man, who does that?
To where we made the joke that like, if he hires me, like I'll tie his shoes for him. Like, give me like 150K a year, I'll tie your fucking shoes for you. That was our joke we had for the longest. But yeah, I do regret not asking him to take a picture with me. I mean, he was literally right. Like, there was 5 people in the little restaurant we were in. Me, my ex, Tim, Angel, and the bartender. We were the only people there. And then Tony Khan and Britt Baker were like going back and forth because there was a conference room that they were all going into, like partying and shit. Kind of weird Adam Cole wasn't there, but whatever. Getting drunk with the boss. That was after Britt Baker beat Hikaru for the title.
And his shoes were untied the whole time.
Every time I saw him, EJ, his shoes were not tied.
With all due respect, I think he might be on the spectrum. I mean, it's not wrong with that, but just
I could see him having a defect.
Yeah, like a functioning one, but not like
right.
It's like a social disorder of something,
like something like ADHD or some shit like that. Nothing like. Yeah, we're not trying to be rude, but yeah, I could see that he has a very quirky personality.
Maybe even like an Asperger's or something like that.
Oh, I used to watch this TV show called Parenthood, and the kid had Asperger's. And as soon as you said that, I thought, But we're not doctors. We're not fucking diagnosing motherfuckers of shit. But yeah, I can see him. Or he's just on coke.
It's funny, and he may be on coke, but I think it's something else. Like you said, we're not doctors or anything like that. Shout out to Tony Khan. We're a billionaire and I'm not. So.
Shout out to Tony Khan. Hope you didn't hear the last 7 minutes of shitting on you. Yeah. but shout out to you, TK.
Yeah. You're a billionaire. Jaguars. And I'm not. Yeah, you had the Jaguars.
Anything else you want to hit on before we get up out of here, EJ?
Nah, man. I think we covered everything, man.
A long show. Good show. 2 hours. So goddamn.
Yeah.
Let's CM Punk talk.
Like you said, he's a lightning rod. He causes us to have a 2-hour show.
Yeah. Next time I talk to you, EJ, I'll be coming back from Vegas. I'm actually off work next Tuesday, so.
No word.
Hopefully I'll get caught up on some wrestling that Tuesday before. And we'll be back to record next Tuesday. We'll put out the tweets and the Instagrams about listener questions. I'm digging the listener mail, man.
Yeah. It's good to be interactive, It's like another wrinkle and fold in the show.
Since we're not live anymore, we can't just react to people, but having oh wow.
NXT?
No, Instagram. Tessa Blanchard and Flip Gordon took a picture together, and I'm like,
I'm not a Tessa Blanchard fan, and I don't know too much about Flip Gordon. He's a flippy guy, isn't he?
He had some shit going on during that Me Too stuff. That's why he fell off. So it's odd that they took a picture together. Tessa Blanchard's hot though.
Yeah. Hey, beauty is an eye beholder. She's not my cup of tea, but who am I?
I like muscles on women. I really do. I like a woman that has more muscles than I do. I don't know why. I don't want her to be like jacked up like fucking China was when she started, but like a really fit, muscular woman, that shit's sexy to me.
Yeah. I'm a fan of a nice fit woman. But Tessa Blanchard, maybe it's just because I know she's trash and that makes me not look at her like that.
Allegedly, EJ.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I
mean, I might let her call me that if we were. I'm kidding.
I don't play that. I don't play those games.
You ain't never been with a white girl. Be like, say it. You want to.
I don't.
And then when she says it, you're like, get the fuck out of here. Why would you say that? She's like, don't tell me to say it. Just because somebody tell you to do something, I mean you do it.
Views held by Rucker are not the same views held by E.J. Reed. I'll put that disclaimer out there.
Obviously, I would never fucking have somebody say that, but it's good content.
I don't got anything on my end.
Shout out to everybody that listens. Shout out to everybody that sent in questions. We really fucking appreciate that. If you haven't done so already, go to YouTube and search Boot to the Face and please hit the subscribe button. If you listen on the audio, that's great, but we need to get our YouTube numbers up. We're trying to do big things over here. We want to get some interviews and shit like that. So we need the numbers to grow a little bit. So if you have family, friends that like pro wrestling, tell them about Boot to the Face. Tell them to go subscribe. And I feel like they will enjoy it. I'm not going to lie, EJ, we're the most handsome wrestling podcast out there.
I mean,
and it's all because of you. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Don't sell yourself short. Black excellence over here, baby.
Fuck yeah. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Until next week, fuck CM Punk. Peace.
Got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in